Welcome back to another episode of RSD Outdoors, guys. Today I just wanted to do a quick video for you. It's kind of going into my favorite time of the year to fish, which is post-spawn going into the summer. You got fish doing a little bit of everything right now. You got some still up shallow chasing brim. You got some in that mid-depth level, and then some spawn, in the last month or two, so they're already in that summer pattern. So I'm gonna go through a few of my favorite lures to fish this time of the year and chase the big ones. First off, we definitely passed jerkbait season, where you can still catch them, but you gotta have the right situations. But this is one of my newer Enigma rods that I just got, and I kind of fell in love with it this spring. It's got really good action on it, so I'm gonna make some more use of it. This is my 6'8" medium action, and it can handle anything from 3/8 to 3/4 of an ounce. Like I said, they're going to be in all different depths. Nothing better than a swim bait, especially fishing ponds or even in the lake. A little small, simple swim bait and a perch pattern to chase the fish, and just find them at any depth level. You can count it down, or you can fish it shallow. I got this on a 6 3-to-1 quantum reel, 10-pound line to let it get down deep if I need to, but that's going to be perfect. Like I said, in that perch pattern, following the, right now I feel like they're, they hadn't quite moved into that full summer pattern, and I feel like the bluegill pattern is a really good pattern to follow right now. So that's rod number one. See what we got. We'll stick on that same type of pattern, bluegill pattern. I really like maybe a 10-foot deep crankbait. More on that in just a second. I'll get on the what I'm throwing it on. Throwing that on a excuse me, a 7'2" medium heavy Enigma HPT rod. This is their top of the line model. Throwing that on a quantum 6 1-to-1 reel on 10-pound line, so I can get it down there deep. But this is actually a, like I said, the brim pattern. They call this color the, what is it? Chartreuse sepia honey, which is basically a brim pattern. It's got like a honeydew or a brim color on it, brown back with chartreuse body. I'm going to really love that. This is a strike core lure. The great thing about these baits, when you throw them out, most crankbaits are going to float on top of the surface. This one actually sinks down, so you should count it all the way down to the bottom. And especially for me, I'm fishing a lot of ponds. I don't know how deep they are. You're always constantly having to switch lures. With this, I can work it, like I said, they're at any depth level. So I can throw it shallow, I can throw it medium, or I can throw it deep. You just got to let it count down, and then just grind it. It's got a real good deflection attribute to it. So I cannot wait. I'm going to do a more thorough lure review on this lure, but I can't wait to throw it. It's got some great hooks on it. Some VMC. What is it? VMC Barbarian hooks. Can't wait to hook one on one of those. And she should definitely stay pinned up. I've got that pattern, and I want to, like I said, really get into these lures later on, but that's a chartreuse with a black back, so I could throw that in stained water. And I've also got one in a more of a shad pattern in case they are on the shad bite. That's called a citrus shad. That's probably my favorite shad pattern all year round, but that's kind of, you can see the box. Well, like I said, that's a core strike lure. On to my next lure. Let's see what else I got. When you're really chasing the big ones, you definitely got to have a jig on. This is a Terminator jig, and that's in a 1/4 of an ounce. Kind of a perch and a bluegill pattern. It's got a Strike King rodent on the back, but I've trimmed that up, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. Like I said, you can swim it, you can crawl it, you can hop it. Very versatile bait. Throwing that on a 7'3" medium heavy action rod with my Daiwa Tattoo CT and a 7-3-1. And like I said, I showed y'all that in the last video. That rod's made for anything: buzz baits, horny toes, jigs, Senkos, spinner baits. Very good all-purpose, but it's definitely got the backbone to help you handle those big fish on the jig. Let's see what else we got. You definitely got to have your Texas rig for this time of year. I love fishing around brush this time of year. Any hard cover, they'll kind of sit on that on their way out to the deeper water. Right now I just got my, this is a Magnum 8-inch lizard on a 1/4 ounce weight on it with a mustad 3/0 hook. Throwing that on 15-pound line with my medium action Enigma Phenom series rod. That's a really good worm rod. If I'm not throwing that lizard, I'll be throwing 10-inch Zoom Old Monster, and I love the June bug pattern in that. But definitely two baits you gotta have tied on. If they're not on that, they're more finesse, which they definitely can be this time of year. Once we get into those summer months, got the classic, the shaky head. That is a fat robo-worm fat on a VMC shaky head hook. Throwing that on, what is this, 14-pound line, my Quantum Smoke, and my 7-foot medium heavy action rod. Definitely, I love that rod. I can throw a frog on that one, throw a spinnerbait on that one. That's a really good all-purpose rod as well. Phenom series. And last but not least, if they're not biting it, gotta go even more finesse. I got a drop shot on here now. That's one of my favorite colors as well. And a Strike King finesse worm. I actually caught one on that rig the other day. On my Aaron's Edge series Enigma rod, my 6'10" drop shot rod. It throws drop shots, dart head, shaky head, tubes, and spy bait. But definitely a go-to rod for you when you're trying to get that limit fish and just nothing else is working. You got to slow down and finesse them. I've come to love that ride. But that pretty much wraps it up. I'm going to be, like I said, targeting those hard areas with trying to find the hard surface. So not clay banks. Well, you can fish clay flats, but just looking for anything hard bottom. That's what they'll be using this time of year. And if they're not, you know, right up under the bushes. But if you got any questions or want to leave any suggestions for lures you love to throw this time of year, definitely would love to hear them. But just wanted to go through a few of mine and what I'll be throwing these next few months until it gets into the heat of the summer. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Cast, catch, repeat.